In fact, she's lost over 2.5 minutes, but coming through now, she's showing great determination. At the end of the lap, and Timmis is looking in complete control at the front. On the Isle of Man in '92, he was away on his own, only to be caught on the line by David Baker. This time, he'll need to pace his last lap effort, for Craig is now up to second, and he's looking good. Clay's now dropping back. He must have had a problem. And that's now Early through in third. He's just passed Ward in the women's race. For Early, this is an excellent ride for a first time out after his World Cup crash. Robinson's misfortune as handing a winning opportunity to Ward, though as she pedals through the arena, she'll be able to see Robinson. He's already back to second, and it looks like she's closing. It's amazing, isn't it, how a puncture can spur a rider on. Up through the woods for the final time, and Timmis makes it look easy, maintaining an easy rhythm. He's often had problems with stamina on the final lap, but he's now opened up a minute lead over the Diamondback rider, and that should be a good enough cushion for victory. Amazing. As Craig comes through, you can see how much harder he's working. But given his recent form, he'll be satisfied with second. Early also seems to be tiring, though he should be safe, as Clay, who led for 3 laps, has apparently pulled out because of a double tyre defect, and the chasers are now nearly 2 minutes back. Young's hopes have also been thwarted by a puncture, and Macaulay is trying to stay ahead of Martin and Wright as the top 2 women come back together. That's Paul Lazenby, who also flatted on the first circuit, and he's now contesting the race for 4th place. Well, this is a real test for Ward. She knows Robinson has been stronger in the hills, so she'll need to call on all her strength if she's to stay with the Yorkshire woman. Through the bomb holes for the final time, Timmis is still well clear and heading for a road and off-road double as he won the Sky City Centre race in midweek, so he's the man in top form. And Craig still retains the runner-up spot. He's definitely given up the chase. He seems anxious, actually, about being caught himself, which indicates his recent lack of confidence because he's actually a good minute clear of Early. So Timmis clinches his first national mountain bike win, a popular result with the crowd. And behind him, the battle for 4th has really livened up. Lazenby has produced a storming last few laps. He passed the chasers on the climb and has now got the gap he needs over Martin. A regular visitor to the podium in recent seasons, Craig gets his first top 3 finish this year, and that was hard work. And Early has also overcome his problems to find mid-season form for 3rd spot. Meanwhile, his rally teammate sprouted wings on the climb, for as she heads through the bomb holes, Robinson now is over 30 seconds clear of Ward, who will have to settle for second. And the places are still changing, with Roundtree having moved up to 3rd ahead of Fletcher on the final lap. Second in the previous 2 rounds, Robinson takes a richly deserved first victory. And Ward gains second, her best ever result.
So despite a puncture, Robinson takes a deserved win, while Roundtree returns to the podium for the first time in 3 years. In the end, Timmis's win was commanding, and all the top 4 have produced their best results of the season. In the overall standings, Robinson has now edged ahead of Morel, but the Saracen rider will be back for the next round. And despite his puncture, Young has extended his lead in the series, but behind him, the likes of Wright and Lazenby are now in contention.
It was a hard race. Just paced myself really, and they went off a bit hard at the start, but I kept them within striking range and pulled them back at the end. I just felt comfortable. I just rode within myself on the climbs, and it's the best I've felt for a long time climbing. I've lost a bit of weight, so I think I'm down to the climbing weight now.
It's the first time I felt like I was actually racing for 7 or 8 weeks now. It was really good to feel like that. I wasn't going brilliant on the climbs, but I was descending really well. I managed to ride at my own pace on the climbs, which helped a lot. I was catching Johnny Clay up, and I think we'd have had quite a battle if he hadn't have had problems.
I broke my collarbone 5.5 weeks ago, so it's not a long time to recover. So I'm fairly pleased. At the start of the race, I was very, very cautious coming down the hill because, you know, I can't afford to sort of fall on it again. And I think, you know, I lost a lot of time coming down. But then, as the race was going on, I think I was forgetting about my collarbone and I was coming down a bit quicker.
Unfortunately, I punctured about a mile into it, so I had to stop and fix that. Found 2 big old thorns in the tyre. I think it must have taken me a good 3 minutes, but I carried on, started to feel pretty good, so figured I might make a top 10, but it went better than I thought.
Just sort of riding at my own pace up the climbs, and sort of the next thing I knew I was on my own. And when the dreaded soft tyre came, and I thought, it was actually a slow puncture, and I thought, do I fix it now while I've still got a lap and a half to go, and maybe, you know, catch some time up, or do I wait and see what happens? So I made the decision to change the puncture. It was eyeballs out on the last lap and a half to try and catch everybody back up again.
She got away on the climbs a bit, but I was descending really well. I was really pleased with that today. So I knew I could catch her up again on the descent. But she was gradually that little bit more stronger on the second lap, got away again. I'm sure she had so much determination to get back. I knew I was sort of a target for her. So it was just when she caught me, just trying to hang on in there.
For the next round, the series heads south to Dorset. See you then.
I've just descended down the new section. It's extreme downhill section. It's short but steep. And I'd recommend in this section that we're going to want to be one of the first riders down it, as there'll be some traffic jam and the possibility of taking a tumble there. I just climbed up on the short climb out of the start-finish area, and now we're headed down the high-speed service road, which will take us down the main loop. So here we are on one of the lower sections of the course here in Mammoth. Up ahead we've got one of the steep, challenging sections with some loose terrain on it here in Mammoth. And this section here is going to lead us up into the start-finish area. I hope you enjoy the show. See you in the race.
We spoke to
boat riders that have not checked into the bike market or bike section.
Course is very good for me, but is one thing is not good for me. The race is height. It's very high. I live at 135 on the sea. Livello, and this is difficult for me.
What about the course?
It's going to be hard. We do 5 laps, and there's a couple pretty steep climbs, not too long, but they're pretty hard, arduous, so it'll be hard. I think it'll be a tight race, though.
Join us after the break for the start of the women's race. Welcome back to Mammoth. Conditions, as you probably noticed, are warm and sunny despite the thick blanket of snow as the women charge off to the start of their race. And then in the lead already is our interviewee, Tammy Jacks-Gruel, followed closely by Ruthie Mathis and Petso, with Furtado in 4th place. Very fast start here. Suits the more road-orientated rider. Or someone like Julie Furtado. Doesn't care where she races, Julie. 45 entries for the race today, and already Furtado's in the lead. She's taking them up the climb. Number 4 there, Maria Paola Toccato, the other Italian, with Petso in front of her. Somewhat overshadowed by Petso. Furtado goes through at least 20 metres in front of Ruthie Mathis, riding for Team Evian there. Hasn't had that great a season yet so far, although like last season she seems to be getting stronger and stronger.
Hurtado with that rather upright stance of hers, whether she's standing or sitting, she tends to be fairly straight. Whereas Petso is more like a road racer, really, crouched down over the bars, pushing quite a big gear there. And there's Susan Dematteis riding for Diamondback.